overwhelming. You don't know what to do.
The number now confirmed dead, 14 in eastern Washington state after this weekend's mudslide destroyed dozens of homes in the small fishing community of Arlington. More than 100 people still unaccounted for.
I'd like to know that they found something.
Tom Wood's brother, IBM employee Philip Wood, one of 3 Americans on board Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
For the first time, airborne recovery teams were able to take photographs of debris spotted separately by both Australian and Chinese pilots. The Chinese saw 2 large objects and several smaller ones. The Australians aboard an Orion P-3 saw an orange rectangular object and a grayish-green circular object.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. Today, Malaysia's Prime Minister said satellite technology traced the plane to the South Indian Ocean far from land, and all 239 on board were gone. The search now called off because of bad weather, a U.S. drone and other equipment heading to the area. The G7 countries deciding they won't go to the G8 summit in Sochi.
The Hague Declaration is the product of a 90-minute emergency meeting of leaders of the group now calling itself the G7, suspending Russia's membership until the Kremlin changes course in Crimea. In warning, future punishments, including sanctions targeted at key economic sectors, could follow. Sochi was supposed to play host to a G8 summit in June. Instead, the G7 leaders from the U.S., Canada, Europe, and Japan will gather in Brussels, Belgium. In The Hague, the Netherlands. Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio.
Mikhail Prokhorov, the Russian owner of the Brooklyn Nets, says he is moving ahead with plans to transfer ownership of the NBA team to Russia to comply with a new law there. Whether possible U.S. sanctions could hurt him, he says he's looking into it. You're listening to Fox News Radio, Fair and Balanced.
Real experience, real insight.
We're following this explosive story.
Nothing gets by Greta. Then
this is all BS. What was that all about?
There's no spin and no question. O'Reilly dominates. Plus, smart, sharp, and cutting edge.
It's the news of the day, but with a little heat.
Megan delivers. And Sean seals the deal with fearless talk.
What part of that aren't you understanding?
Most watched, most trusted, Fox News Channel.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comment and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
A possible explanation for a commuter train derailment this morning in Chicago.
Did the operator of the train doze off? That possibility raised by the head of a Chicago transit union. Amalgamated 308 President Robert Kelly says the operator told him she had worked a lot of overtime lately and was extremely tired at the time of the derailment. It happened during early morning hours Monday, about 6 hours into her shift. The train jumped the tracks, went onto a passenger platform, and up an escalator.
Obviously, safety is our highest priority at the CTA, and we run 500,000 train trips a year.
So Transit Authority President Forrest Claypool says they want to get to the bottom of it as quickly as possible. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
5 ex-employees of imprisoned financier Bernie Madoff found guilty of conspiracy today after a federal trial in Manhattan that lasted nearly 6 months. That trial, the first stemming from Madoff's multi-decade Ponzi scheme that cheated investors out of billions. Madoff sentenced to 150 years behind bars. Time to make the cronuts, a lawsuit says, not so fast.
A small Maine bakery threatened with a legal action over its popular cronut knockoff hopes a new name does the trick. The Little Big's Bakery in South Portland spells its version of the croissant donut hybrid CRAUXNUT. But they were hit with a cease and desist letter this month from lawyers for New York chef Dominic Ansel, creator of the cronut spelled CRONUT. The Little Big's owners, James and Pamela Plunkett, asked patrons on Facebook to suggest a new name. The winner, C&D, a reference to cease and desist. The Plunketts see the lawsuit as a badge of honor, saying they got a guy in New York to recognize their tiny operation. Pat O'Neill, Fox News Radio.
U.S. markets ending lower today, dragged down by healthcare and tech stocks. The Dow down 26, the NASDAQ off 50. I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News Radio.
This is Richie from Saturday Jam with music of the 50s, 60s, 70s, disco, and jazz. Catch me every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Hazy Radio Network.
Imagine no longer being tied down to your computer, but having the freedom to take live talk radio with you anywhere you go. TalkStream Live introduces our first ever iPhone application. The talk shows you follow now follow you. And your iPhone is now the fastest and easiest way to stay connected to the best talk radio on the internet. Let TalkStream Live transform the way you listen to radio. Listen to live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mobile talk radio from TalkStream Live. Now available in the iTunes App Store.
With the colder weather coming and schools back in session, your free time is always at a premium. So when out and about, make sure that your favorite internet network goes with you, the Hazy Radio Network. Hazy Radio can be streamed on many sites and mobile devices, including Loud City, TuneIn, Your Muse, Radio B. If you take a look at your favorite site, we may be already there. So whether it be the chill of fall, trick-or-treating, opening presents, or ringing in the new year, be sure to bring Hazy Radio along for the ride. For more information, go to our website, hazyradio.com.
Listening to The Broader View on the Hazy Radio Network. You can participate by calling 651-447-6309. That's 651-447-6309. Now, back to Hazy.
And welcome back to The Broader View, everybody, with Wanda C. and Hazy and our special substitute guest. You're not a substitute, Homey.
No. Our walk-in guest.
Our walk-in guest. Literally our walk-in guest. No, he's having dinner in. We caught him right during the dinner hour. Homey, welcome back.
A walk-in. A walk-in. Oh, by the way, can you hear me good?
We can hear you great. Yeah,
wow, that's great. Can you do me a favor? Listen, I had a heart attack about 3 hours ago. Will you call 911 when we're done with the show and tell them to come pick up my dead body?
Sure.
Sure, anytime. That's what we're here for. We're a full-service network.
I got to tell you, I did that to somebody else on another show. I had them speechless.
You know, if I didn't know you better, Homey, I would have taken you seriously. But I know you way too better. I know you way too better. So what are you having for dinner now that we caught you during dinner? You're having some rigatoni. It's homemade sauce and...
Yes. And some nice spices, and I really put up a little. I put a little kick in it with some crushed red peppers.
Nice. See, and you brought enough for everybody, right?
Oh yeah, I cooked about a half a pound, so we could split that up a few ways. I don't know about our guests, our audience out there. They'll have to make it on their own. I'm sorry.
Oh. We're special.
Jesus on the hill and let it rain down pasta for everybody.
Well, now, before we went on break, you were talking about how you came to be with all of your experiences, and you were talking about
the camp. Yeah, I'm about to write the book.
Yeah.
So, and last time we talked was about the first visitation that I had asked.
Right.
And how this Polaroid camera just operated on its own. Well, my friend is snoring away on the other couch. I'm laying there thinking, okay, all of a sudden I remember about my prayer or my conversation with God and asking for his presence. And I heard this camera go off, and then all of a sudden I heard the voice say, you can open up your eyes now. Well, I turned around. I turned where I was laying. And my head was facing towards the TV, so to speak, the top of my head. I wasn't even looking at the TV, so I had to turn and notice that this camera that he had set on the top of the TV was now basically hanging off the edge, that if you touched it, it would fall off. But there was a picture jutting out of it that had come out of it. I didn't dare touch the picture, all right? Not until somebody woke up and I could tell the story. Now, I'm waiting for my other friend to come by, and I go to open up the door, and my friend comes to life on the couch. He hears the door opening, but he said a couple of things that I knew it wasn't him, all right? and like a voice came through him. But he was groggy. He didn't know what he was saying. So I just said, okay, leave that be. But the other friend showed up right at that moment, came in, and then I proceeded to tell him what happened to the camera, what was going on. I said, but now let's take a look at the picture ourselves and see what we got. Well, you figure, a Polaroid camera goes off on its own. No flash bar up. You got very little light in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the picture is going to be?
Your foot.
Black. Dark, it's not,
yeah.
You're not getting anything. Right. If there's no flash, you're not going to get anything but blackness.
Supposedly.
Right?
So you should.
Some shade of maybe what could be in front of the lens. But some sort of a dark picture. When we turned it over, we found ourselves looking at a white picture all over it. Wow. Solid white, shades of white.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't even like a misfire, solid white.
Like from the center of the picture, shades all over the place. You could see different levels of, different levels of shade, of brightness. I mean, I'm looking at the chat room on my computer right now, and there's like a shadow coming down.
Right.
Light. Something similar to that. Okay? And so, at that moment, I couldn't tell them who did that or what it was about. That was just for me to know, but I needed to show them something. And you see, they thought it was the friend who I was staying with at that moment. They thought it might have been his deceased grandmother. That's another story in itself, that I knew his grandmother. I was painting their kitchen, helping them redo the kitchen, and the grandmother keeps asking me, "Homey, will I ever live to enjoy this kitchen when it's done?" I couldn't answer her. She died the last day that I was finishing up the kitchen.
Wow.
Right? So they thought it was her grandmother. So, and I